Hello everybody, as always, welcome to KamenRider Blackman, and today I will be doing my top 10 favorite rider machines. So, this is a list that I thought of a while ago, or at least, and something I've touched on last night to see. Basically, I did a list like this before, and then I looked at it again and I was like, okay, let me see what I can do that's a bit different this time. Just to see. A little rearranging, looking at new stuff. But yeah, here's the list. And as always, I will start off with honorable mentions. And so, my first honorable mention is the hard boiler from W. It doesn't make the list for me because on its own as a bike, it's not bad. But in terms of transportation, he'll need like the tank for, just because he has the different backs of to travel faster on land, fly, and travel on sea. Which is so interesting about this bike too, because it can adapt. But alone, it doesn't really. But alone, it's just a bike. But it's still a good-looking bike. And I like how Cyclone Joker transcends onto the bike, which is impressive. Next, my second honorable mention is the V Machine from Super One. I like how huge this bike is because it's somewhat of a chopper, but it didn't make the list for me because once it gets that V-Jet mode, it gets too bulky. Now third. My third honorable mention is the Dandelighter from Gaim. It's the hovercraft bike that's used by Gaim and the Kurokage, mainly the Kurokage using it. It's not as close to a motorcycle, but it can fly, and that's why I wanted it on the list, because it can fly. But keep in mind right now, most things that are on this list are either things that could. Some items I have on this list right now are things that possibly could fly. Yeah, they are. And next, my final honorable mention is one that I'm not too sure is considered a rider machine or not, but that is the Time Mazin from Zio, because it's a time machine Megazord. That's why. And from what we've seen so far on ZO, it can also adapt with other ride watches, so that's nice. But oddly enough, I don't know if this is considered a rider machine or not. But I'll learn later. Starting off at number 10 is the Ride Shooter from Ryuki. I honestly like how the Ride Shooter looks, because it's a motorcycle, but it's as wide as a car, and that's why I like it so much. It does nothing else except for be transportation between our world and the mirror world, but for what it is, it still looks freaking amazing. And I just couldn't help but want to have it on the list because it looks beautiful. And I'm curious to know right now if something like that is street legal, because I would so get that motorcycle. I just gotta know what type of motorcycle it is. But moving on to the next one, number 9, the Ride Vendor from O's. This is a sweet looking bike. It's a chopper, and not only that, it's actually useful for dispatching those Canroids to be little helpers for O's. And not just that, there are like a bajillion of these, so anyone could ride one. So anyone could get one of those, not just O's and Burf. I was almost a little shaky about having this on the list to begin with, because it has this cool feature where the bike can become sentient and absorb energy from Oz's combos, so he won't be exhausted afterwards. And unfortunately, he doesn't use that function of it very often. But for the bike alone, It's nice. I like the black and gold Tron pattern on it. It's very pretty. And then next, number 8, the Gatak Extender, used by KamenRider Gatak in KamenRider Kabuto. This bike alone is impressive. Why I want it on this list is because the blue and not just because of the blue and gold, but because the stag beetle motif and how amazing it is. And also, this bike can fly because it can become a hoverboard and form the shape of a stag beetle, and that's just freaking awesome. But I have yet to see Kabuto to know if he actually uses that bike in show, because so far I've seen a picture of it. I just don't know if he's actually used it in show before, because that would be impressive. Then again, I would have to watch Kabuto. But next, number 7, the Machine Tornado from Agito, another bike that flies. This bike alone, it looks pretty cool. I was a little iffy about it at first, but then I looked at it more and I was like, okay, this is quite impressive. Because it's the red and gold that I had to get used to and find it pretty. And another thing too, this bike, it's a sports bike and it can become a hoverboard. To which the first time I saw Agito use it in its slider form, he used it to boost the power on his rider kick and destroy a monster just like that. And that was awesome. But next, number 6, the Beat Chaser 2000, used by Kuga. I freaking love the design on this bike. I like the black, gold, and red on it, as opposed to the Tri-Chaser that was gold, silver, and red. It's just, this bike alone, it's stronger, faster, and it's more endurance-full. And it has more endurance than the Tri-Chaser. And Go-Ram, the horse armor that Kuga gets, it can still combine with this bike. And not only that, Go-Ram has actually done that before, fused with the bikes, and Kuga and he did it so Kuga could. How do I give this example? Yes. Well, let me explain this. The reason why the Beat Chaser is a step ahead of the Machine Tornado on this list is because as a bike alone, it doesn't do anything except be a lot stronger and faster than the Tri-Chaser, but it can adapt. So which makes me put it a step ahead, because there's a few times in the show, maybe once or twice, where Kuga couldn't beat an enemy, so he used his bike to fuse with Go-Ram and just ram it into the monster, killing it that way. And seeing that for the first time, it's freaking amazing, because like I said, this bike is also adaptable. It's not just good. So, with rising powers that he has, it'll go. The rising power, it could also be inserted into the bike as well, and just ram it into the monster to beat it from there. And that's just the best thing ever. Because the first time that happened was in one episode where a monster was driving a truck and Kuga just rammed into the truck, killing the monster that way. It's just for all the ways that people get killed in Kuga, vehicular manslaughter is very touched on, pretty much. But moving on, that's number 6. Number 5, the Ride Chaser from Drive, used by KamenRider Chaser. And I freaking love this bike. This is my personal favorite. This is one of my personal favorite bikes on this list, straight up, because it's a different type of bike from the last couple of years, probably when Drive came out. So it's a new type of bike, And the colors on there are just, they scream badass because they're also Chase's colors as well. That's black, purple, and silver. And the purple flames on it are amazing. And I just like how this bike is. And it can also, once again, alone, it's pretty cool. But it can also combine with Mock's bike and create that thing called the Ride Crosser, which looks like it turns into some type of doom buggy. Which is also cool. Once again, it's up higher because it can adapt. So next, number 4, the Guard Chaser used by KamenRider G3. So another one from Akito on this list. And I like this bike. This bike stores all of G3's weapons, and doesn't explain why it's pretty bulky, because like I said, it stores all of his weapons inside, and it's a police bike, so he's doing his job, and that's pretty awesome. Honestly, and as well, I can honestly see myself on this bike riding it. But then again, I would just like to ride a motorcycle. But next, number 4, Autovagin. This motorcycle is a robot, since it can literally become a robot. And yeah, pretty much that's basically why. This rider machine alone, it's a robot. It can become a robot, and it also stores his sword inside. So it's a lot higher up because it can become a robot and be Fize's helper in battle. And in the last episode, when that bike got destroyed, I just looked at the screen and go, "Not the bike! Not the bike! No! No, Autovagin!" My God. And this is when I was watching Fize. Yeah, next. Number 2, the Machine Winger from Wizard. This bike doesn't look terrible, but it's a very high on this list because as a bike, it's not bad looking, but it can also adapt in its controls, since Wizard can use this to control his dragon. So let me say it. Like, when Wizard's about to enter someone's underworld, I guess in their subconscious, like, he can summon his dragon and use the Machine Winger to control and pilot the dragon from there. And not just that, the bike and the dragon can combine together to create a rider kick for him. To which I don't know if he can do or not in reality, but the functionality of it is still impressive. And yeah, I know, he did it in reality in Superhero Tyson Z, but that movie's not canon. But still, the functionality of it is still top tier. But number 1. I'm not even gonna spoil it. I'm gonna say it. Trideron. Number 1 is Trideron from KamenRider Drive, because this car looks great. This car looks great. It's the base of powers for the shift cars. It's sentient. This car alone could be in different forms, like Wild, Technic, and so on. It is also the main rider's final form. Like, you can't top becoming the main rider's final form, because it's so freaking, it's badass and destructive as all hell. All that power that this car has, that is so cool. And the car alone, like I said, the car looks amazing. It's so futuristic, and it does so much. Like, this is the perfect sidekick for a superhero. Like, the Batmobile can't do that. Like, the Batmobile can't become a final form for Batman, but Trideron can. And it just looks so great. And that's just so freaking great. Not only that, and this car can fly. Once it gets those two like go-karts there connected to it, this car technically can fly. So 6 things that it can do. And so that is my list. Thank you for watching. Did your personal favorite rider machine make the list? If so, or if not, please tell me what's your favorite in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman, share this video if you want to. Now, one more thing I would like to say. This video, not this video, but this is something that I realized like a week ago, but my review of KamenRider ZO episode 2 review, it's currently up to 1.2k views so far on YouTube. So first of all, I actually wanted to address that and say just thank you so much, because that video is insanely popular. It's constantly being watched. And so, which is why I always say to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. Because I do this channel for fun, for a hobby. And and so with that said, I try to have fun with this and be consistent as I can. As well as, what else? As well as just pretty much that, really. But yeah, which is why that video is so popular. That's amazing. But I want to figure out and know how to do more, because right now I'm at like 16 subscribers, and I've been doing this for going on 3 months. And so, yeah. But then again, I'm still getting pretty new to this YouTube thing, so I guess it's a slow start. But thank you for watching. Like I said, like, subscribe, tell your friends. You know what to do, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.